If you have a Medicare Advantage plan or you're considering buying one, you might have been scared or scared away because of the concept of prior authorization, having a gatekeeper, somebody, a doctor, that can prevent you from going to a specialist and getting the care that you need because he could be incentivized by money to keep you from getting that. So you're not alone with that concept, with that somewhat truth and somewhat misconception. Stay tuned, I'm going to explain it in this video. Okay, hi, I'm Sylvia Gordon with the Medicare Family. Don't freak out about my purple hair extensions. If you're watching this, because my mom did too, and just to reiterate this with my mom and you, they're fake. My daughter bought them for me. They just clip them into your hair. I'm gonna clip them out in about an hour. So just having a little fun today while we talk about Medicare pre-authorization. So the Medicare Family, we'll keep our number on the screen. If you have questions about Medicare Advantage, the one that you have, the one that you're considering buying, call us. My family would love to help you. Talking to us on the phone is always free. So let's go into prior authorization. Prior authorization is a dirty word. I don't like the concept. You shouldn't like it either. But since Medicare is ours, we all pay into Medicare, it's our money, and we have to figure out how to use it. We all have a stake in this. And prior authorization is never needed on a Medicare supplement, which is why a lot of people prefer to pay more for a Medicare supplement. Like my mom has a Medicare supplement. She doesn't want to deal with it. Now my dad has a Medicare Advantage because he doesn't want to pay the higher premiums associated with a Medicare supplement. So he has to live in the prior authorization world, which he's happy with because he saves a lot of money. So prior authorization means I have a lot of sinus pressure, which if you live in the Midwest, you're going to get that every year at harvest time in October. It kills, makes your head feel like it's going to explode, your eyes water, your sinuses fill up with all this harvest dust. You can tell I'm a farmer. So I go to my eye doctor because my eyes are killing me. My eyes are bulging out of my head, my eyes are watering, and I think there's something wrong with my eyes. And he goes, oh, it's sinuses. Take Zyrtec. So I take Zyrtec and it goes away. Okay? I have a friend, same thing. She goes, same thing. Zyrtec did nothing. She goes back to the doctor. She goes, Zyrtec didn't do anything. And he goes, well, it's probably allergies. Try Benadryl, try Claritin, try all the different things. Something's going to work. It's allergies. So she does that. And she said, nothing works. And my face is exploding. Everything hurts. I'm having trouble here. And I don't think it's allergies. I just don't feel like it's allergies. She goes, I would like to go see a neurologist. See if it's something else in my brain here. And he said, absolutely not. He would not give her a prior authorization to see an expensive specialist because he said it's in your head, it's allergies, it's nothing. Okay, so a couple years go by and she's frustrated. I mean, she's a nice lady, she's very patient, but she said, I think it's something else. And the doctor won't let her go because she cannot see a specialist with some plans without that authorization from a doctor. Okay? Now, when we talk about Med Advantage requiring prior authorization, they don't all require prior authorization. Medicare Advantage is many different things. It's PPOs and HMOs and other types of plans, but primarily PPOs and HMOs. And if you look at this data from the Kaiser Family Foundation, you can see that as of 2018, 4 out of 5 people that are on a Medicare Advantage plan are on one that does require some prior authorization. And typically when we talk about prior authorization, we're talking about plans that are HMOs. HMOs have a lower monthly premium. They generally have richer benefits, lower copays, smaller doctor network. And for giving up the smaller doctor network and agreeing to have prior authorization for expensive procedures, you get a lot cheaper price. You might have $0 copay, $0 premium, $0 to see a doctor, $0 copay to see a specialist. Really rich benefits. And the West Coast, I'm talking to you. You can see these amazing HMOs out there. But your doctor gets paid to keep you from getting quote unquote unnecessary expensive treatments. So if you have a Medicare supplement and you want to go to 5 doctors every day, you can do that. There's no gatekeeper. Nobody can stop you. That's one of the beautiful things about a Medicare supplement. It's one of the bad things if you're the taxpayer, and you're trying to figure out how we make this money last longer, right? So if you're on a plan that has the requirement for a prior authorization, some of them you can get it 24 hours. Some of them, they really delay it, and that's part of the tactic to try to get you to give up and just take the Claritin. So let's go back to my friend. 2 or 3 years, and she's nice and she's patient. She's one of those really soft ladies. I actually bought a goat off of her, Samson. And finally, she said, this is crazy. I know it's not my sinuses. So what should I do? I said, well, if he won't give you the ability to go to the specialist, there was no ability on her insurance to appeal his decision. He was her primary care doctor. He was her gatekeeper. She'd have to just pay it out of her pocket, which is what she did. She took her own money, she booked an appointment with a neurologist, and she went, and she had a brain tumor. Okay, so she's no longer with us. So this is not the best story to advertise Medicare Advantage HMOs, which I personally, as an agent, have sold a lot of. Not the one that was her problem. But that's what's on 2020. That's what's on 60 Minutes. That makes the news, is that somebody got killed because their doctor wouldn't give them prior authorization. And that's something to keep in mind. Now, she could have gotten a new primary care doctor. She could have said, no, forget you, I'm going to somebody else. And that doctor could have agreed with her and given her the referral to the specialist. So she could have worked that part of the system, but she wasn't, aggressive enough. She just kept thinking if she asked nicely every year that it would work out. So if you're buying a plan, it doesn't mean that these are bad plans, because they're very good plans. Like I said, I sell a lot of Medicare HMOs. Most of the HMO plans that I sell don't require prior authorization, but that can change at any moment. Every year these plans change, and the ones that didn't require prior authorization for the last 5 years might add it on this year. In my crystal ball of where Medicare is evolving, this will be very prevalent. Everybody will eventually require prior authorization. And it's not bad if your doctor's a good guy. If your doctor gets paid to keep you from seeing anybody, that's not a good system. If your doctor's incentivized to keep you healthy and to catch that brain cancer before it metastasizes throughout your whole body, and you require a lot of really expensive treatment, then your doctor is your friend, your ally. When the doctor's just trying to guard the money because he gets a part of the money that's left over, that's not a good plan. That's why that type of HMO, that type of health maintenance is phasing out in favor of they get paid to keep you healthy. They get paid to get you there faster, to get it nipped in the bud sooner before it's a more expensive disease. Okay? So I told you a terrible story, which is depressing and is true. And like I said, that's one story. You can go on 60minutes.com and see a million of these stories. I always had a bad feeling about HMOs growing up because of all the negative press. But by and large, Medicare HMOs are different than HMOs that you always saw when you were younger in the under 65 market, okay? So Medicare HMOs have always operated differently, and I hesitate to say better because I get in trouble every time I say better, best, good, bad, but I will say better. I will stake my purple hair on that today, that Medicare HMOs operate better. Like I said, I sell them. Would I buy one? Yes, I would. I wouldn't patently say that they're not good and I would never buy one. You got to buy it and know what you bought, okay? So HMO, PPO, Medicare supplement, with all the different types of plans, you have a lot of choices when you're ready to retire. If you're already retired and you're already on a plan, you still have choices because you can change your plans. And you're not married to the plan you have. You still have options. So this is a subject worth discussing. Medigap, which is a Medicare supplement, versus a Medicare Advantage. And it's all over the internet. You can do the pros and the cons. Don't trust anybody that tells you this is way better. And there's lots of guys on the internet, lots of videos saying MedSup's the only way to go. Don't trust those guys. They're not professionals. They're not consummate specialists in Medicare if they cannot tell you that all the good and the bad of both sides of the house. And there's lots of those guys out there, and I'm friends with lots of them. I do not agree with them. If you are a consummate Medicare professional, you can sell this to the right person, you can sell this to the right person, you could sell to the wrong person, you could sell that to the wrong person. That's the kind of conversation that you need to have with your agent. And if they say, no, never consider Med Advantage or never consider Med Sup, they're too expensive, don't work with that guy. There's more people. If you can't find an agent, call us. We'll be happy to recommend an agent that's local to you, or my family would be happy to help you over the phone, talking to us, emailing us, texting us. It's always free. We'd love to help.